In the past, we've always only known or woken up when it's gone. You know, it took me quite a few years after, you know, that day in September of 20 years ago. But then now you look at it and you know that it's not right. But this time, what's happening is these things are happening and a lot of us are awake and know what it is.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything we can do anyway, because we can't even talk about it that much, but just that we are awake while it's happening. Is that change the paradigm, whatever you call it?
I guess I have no idea. That's a very good point.
Was there, you know, if Spanish flu was real and it all happened then, were some of those people really awake? It's just that decades lose them.
Right.
Decades of time.
That's an excellent point.
I don't know.
It's just a really
because anything they're doing, like, it's good that these people are going. We all wanted them to go, but the media are telling us. If the media are telling us, then it's part of their game somehow.
Absolutely. Yes, if the media tell us, then we know it's part of the game. They only tell us what they want us to see. And so if they're showing it to you, it's something else is really going on. And that's what I have learned.
This video by this lady is really, there you go, such a good video. And she's talking about quite a few things here. That it's always the same things he says. And just look, does that look like Donald Trump? The channel is called Freedom Force Battalion. It's probably best if you just go and look at this video yourself. It was given to me by a reader, so thank you very much.
You know that, right? We weren't. Of course, if you listen to the pundits, we weren't expected to win too much, and now we're winning the country. And soon the country is going to start winning.
Well, I'm here with our lovely Amy. Amy, the viewers are only on the first part of this video. There's going to be a second part of this video, and what did you think when I played that to you? Because that says this one's all about how we're going to make America great again, and you know, Mexico, that hasn't happened just yet, so we'll get on to that bit the next time. But it's all about how wonderful America is, and he's obviously winning here, and the next program says something completely different. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just thought that I remember when he won the election and everything, and he was going to make America great again, and you know, I had voted for him, and I wasn't sure what to expect of him at first, but he was a breath of fresh air next to Obama, because he wasn't going to make us do things. Yeah, like I thought he was, like because the one law that Obama had, making Americans have to buy health insurance, that was a really bad law, and Trump said he was going to get rid of that, so I thought he's a breath of fresh air, and I really liked him, and I loved his rallies, and he'd say, we're making America great again, and then he's always saying, are you tired of winning? You're going to be so tired of winning, and so I loved all that.
That bit about making America great again was what that lady's video was, because he says it all the time. I'm going to make America great again. I'm going to make He's repeating the same thing. I suppose it's a slogan, but that's what her song was about.
That was his slogan.
Can we put just a pause? I'll let you finish, Amy, but can we put like a pause on it, because you can say it in the next bit?
Yeah, sure.
No, say it. Say what you're going to say, but we've got more to say.
Yeah, that was his slogan, make America great again. I thought it was great, but now in light of everything that has happened, and you know, it's just really sad and tragic that it's gotten this bad.
Thank you, Amy. We'll stop there 2 seconds, because we're going to come back in a second.
Okay.
We're going to do very well in Ohio. We're beating the governor. That's good. It's always nice to be beating the governor. And Michigan, the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be an amazing 2 months. We might not even need the 2 months, folks, to be honest, all right? So tonight we had 45, 46%, and tomorrow you'll be hearing, you know, if they could just take the other candidates and add them up. And if you could add them up, because, you know, the other candidates amount to 55%. So if they could just add, they keep forgetting that when people drop out, we're going to get a lot of votes. You know, they keep forgetting. They don't say it. Phil said, Donald, like for the last 3 months, he's driving me crazy. He said, Donald, I want to put $10 million into your campaign. I said, Phil, I don't want your money. I don't want to do it. I'm self-funding. Every time I see him, it's hard for me to turn down money because that's not what I've done in my whole life. I grab and grab and grab. You know, I get greedy. I want money, money. Now I'm going to, I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? We get greedy, right? Now we're going to get greedy for the United States. We're going to grab and grab and grab. We're going to bring in so much money and so much everything. We're going to make America great again, folks. I'm telling you, we're going to make America great again. And another great friend of mine, somebody respected by everybody, a great friend of Phil, too, Mr. and Mrs. Steve Wynn. Stand up, Steve. Stand up. Two great people. Steve is always calling. He's always got advice, right, Steve? Donald, I think you ought to do this and that. His advice I like to listen to, I'll be honest with you. So Phil and Steve and families, we appreciate it. You've been great friends. Thank you. Thank you. So this was very exciting tonight, but I'll tell you, it looks like we won by a lot, evangelicals. I love the evangelicals. And I have to tell you, Pastor Jeffress has been so incredible on television and elsewhere. He has been great. And
Hey.
Amy, he's just talked about other stuff there, but he's just going to go and get into the Mexicans. When you actually heard him say that, this is for, he's obviously not quite president yet, but he's winning counties that makes it look like it could be on. So the rallies and all that. But what did you make when he talked about the Mexicans like that? Like, did you ever hear that before?
I believe I did hear it before. You know, he was talking about building the wall. My first thought of that was that it was a ridiculous idea when I first ever heard it, but then I was starting to think, well, if we have all these illegal immigrants and it's really bringing our nation down, I agreed with him that if that's the best way to have a process so that the Mexicans could come in, you know, legally and have a process. And I always took it that Trump, you know, wanted the immigration and he wanted the Mexicans to come, but he just
what did you think about what he says in this next bit though, when he says who's going to pay for it?
Yeah, that part, I always doubted that the Mexicans were going to be the ones to pay for it, and everybody I knew
who did he ask? That. Who did he say was paying for the wall?
He said the Mexicans were going to pay for the wall. He would always say that, but it didn't believe it ended up that way at all. So I didn't think that was never going to happen when he would say that.
We're going to finish in a second, Amy. Remember, we're getting to 2 minutes. But what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess it was, I have to say, it was sort of a false promise, really, because he was saying that they will end up paying for it, and they didn't, so he kind of was making a promise that he couldn't keep in that case.
Thank you, Amy.
I didn't know at the time.
Yeah, we're going to stop at that moment because we're coming back in a moment.
We won the evangelicals. We won with young. We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people. And you know what I really am happy about, because I've been saying it for a long time. 46% with the Hispanics. 46%. #1 with Hispanics. I'm really happy about that. So, thank you. So I'm very proud of you. This is an amazing night, and you know, I love the country. I love the country. We're going in the wrong direction. We're going to keep, as you know, Gitmo, we're keeping that open, and we're going to load it up with bad dudes. We're going to load it up with a lot of bad dudes out there. We're going to have our borders nice and strong. We're going to build the wall. You know that. We're going to build the wall. And I have a lot of respect for Mexico, and you just heard we won Hispanics. But let me tell you, Mexico is going to wall, right? Gonna happen. Going to happen. They know it. I know it. We all know it. Tremendous deficit. We have a trade deficit with Mexico. They'll pay for the wall. They'll be very happy about it. Believe me, I'll talk to them. They'll be very, very thrilled. They're going to be thrilled to be paying for the wall. We're going to be the smart people. We're not going to be the people that get pushed around all over the place. We're going to be the smart people. You're going to be proud of your president, and you're going to be even prouder of your country, okay? So tonight, folks, this was a great evening. I love this place. I love this state. I love Las Vegas. I have spent and invested so much money over here. Trump International Hotel. I keep telling Steve we have the best hotel in Las Vegas. He's fighting me all the time, but that's like...
So, we're on the last bit now, just before we get to the next bit of video. So, all this bit of video we've been listening to has been how Trump's saying how wonderful and what he's going to do and where he's going to get the money from. And now he's coming back up for re-election. The next video, made by the BBC, doesn't say that, does it, Amy?
No, it does not.
And you Americans might not hear that, but over here now, what are they trying to show? That Trump is not re-electable.
That's what they were saying in the BBC program. Now, here in America, I think that a lot of people are still supporting him, but it just depends if you're Democrat or Republican. But I do think that a lot of Republicans are still on his side, and they see what's going on as a way to detract you know, people from voting for him. But
anyway, should we get on to this bit of video, and we're going to talk a bit more in just a second, Amy.
Okay, Karen.
To see, the people of this country are absolutely amazing. I love you folks very much. Remember, make America great again. We're going to do it, and it's going to happen fast. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. We love you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, NBC News fan.
The polls say Donald Trump is underwater. If so, this is the sort of place that may decide the election. Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie County was pivotal in the 2016 election. It's a blue county that ended up voting for Donald Trump against all odds.
This rock-solid Democrat county helped tip the state towards Trump, and with it, the presidency.
The Fox News decision desk has called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
Winning Pennsylvania was one of the reasons that Donald Trump won the presidency. So he really changed the dynamics here.
The question is, has Erie changed its mind once again? Has it turned its back now on President Trump in the same way that they did against the Democrats 4 years ago?
From the time he took office, Donald Trump's approval rating basically slid and then flatlined. It has never reached 50%. Meanwhile, his disapproval rating tracks in the opposite direction, a steep climb and then flatlining. But if we zoom in to the past few months, we can see that his approval rating went up in mid-March after he declared the COVID-19 state of emergency, limited European travel to the US, and launched a huge program of financial help. However, at the beginning of April, it dived again. This was when he got into rows about not wearing a face mask, trying to open up the economy against scientific advice, and bickering with state governors about who was really in charge. Then came the death of George Floyd. The president's numbers were already going down. Mr. Trump helped them further down with a series of odd decisions. For Pennsylvania Republican Party strategist Chris Nicholas, it's been exasperating watching the president mishandle the crisis.
The president sometimes, fumbles when he doesn't even need to be, playing in that game. I think his problems began when they used so much force to clear out Lafayette Square when he went to the church, the Episcopal Church, and awkwardly held up that Bible. And tried to seem like he was a strong man in charge. And I think that's when some people started to, wonder why was he trying to do this?
Yeah, Amy, we're back again, just putting our little bit in. So this programme the BBC have made isn't really putting Trump in that good light, is it? They don't want him in.
No, not right.
I mean, this man got pushed over. We may have just watched it. I'm not sure where I'm putting this bit in the video right now, but he got knocked over, and that's what Trump says. And everybody saw in this video him being pushed over. And
yes,
they don't like the comments, but these are comments. And then this person says, instead of him worrying about these kind of things, what about the economy and the shutdown? And, and a lot of people are saying he avoids the questions. He doesn't answer them. I've seen a couple of videos on that where he skirts around things and he never answers, even about bin Laden, whatever it is, or whatever it was he was talking about. He just doesn't say, he will not say, yes, he was definitely shot, or whatever it is, he just skirts around everything. So that's what people seem to be picking up on a lot. But I wasn't expecting to see this BBC video like this, saying all this stuff. Were you?
Oh, I know. And the part when he tweeted about the man that was pushed over, but they did make a big deal over that here in America, and a lot of people feel that.
Yeah, but it's all a game, Amy, so why are they pushing all this?
I think maybe just...
You think? You won't probably watch this. You only watched it because I showed it to you. But this is something they're playing in the UK, and I'm sure it's the same the other way round. They play stuff to you that we don't see that could be quite important. But, they're promoting all this, saying that because it's the percentage of where he is right now. He's on a low percentage, and the ones that were low didn't get in. But we're going to watch that in a second, so let's put that bit on, Amy, yeah? We either, wherever we have put this in the video, pick and mix.
Okay.
One of those wondering is lifelong Nelson. She spends her days sewing face masks for the local hospital, but she can't see herself voting for Donald Trump in November.
I hate his attitude. I hate the way he treats people. I hate the way the name calling. There's no need for that. It just makes him look ignorant, and I think ignorance isn't what we need in this country. We need to bond, and that is not a bonding personality.
And it seems Judy is not alone. Mercyhurst University in Erie has been tracking voter sentiment about Trump since his inauguration, regularly polling the electorate. What they found suggests that the president may be in big trouble here.
What we found in Erie County is that voters are very positive when it comes to their evaluation of Donald Trump's handling of the economy, but they're not at all approving of the job he's been doing as president. And I think this is something that's really unusual. Normally these two things track together, but in this case they're not. I expect that if things continue the way they are, that Donald Trump probably will be experiencing some difficulties here in Erie County, given all that has happened with a pandemic, with an economic downturn, and now with widespread social unrest.
What this crisis has done is focus American voters' minds on that most intangible of political qualities, leadership, and see that it's definitely not the same thing as dominating or having the loudest voice in the room or the most cutting put-down on Twitter.
Just one example among dozens, a 75-year-old protester is pushed over by police in Buffalo, New York. He has blood coming from his ear and is now in a serious condition in hospital. President Trump tweets that the man could be an Antifa provocateur who was appearing to scan police communications in order to black out the equipment. Republican strategists are tearing their hair out as to why he should write such a thing.
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot of undecided voters that are waiting to hear about that from the president in the middle of all of these other things going on. I mean, you have a national crisis of racial issues, and you have the COVID-19 crisis. So why don't you talk about that instead of some silly conspiracy theory?
So Donald Trump stands with an approval rating of 41%, way lower than where recent presidents who won a second term were at this point in the year. Barack Obama and George W. Bush were on 47%. Bill Clinton was on 53% and Ronald Reagan on 55%. Meanwhile, the two modern presidents who were on 41% at this point, Jimmy Carter and George H.W. Bush, well, of course, both of those lost the coming election. So does that mean that the Democratic Party nominee, Joe Biden, has it in the bag?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Well, many voters, like Judy Nelson, have concerns about his ability to do the job.
People don't know what to do. They don't like Trump. They're afraid of taking and voting for Biden because Biden's looks have kind of changed, that there could be maybe a medical problem. I think it all depends upon who Biden selects as his vice president as to the outcome of his election.
And if he was 20 years younger?
If he was 20 years younger, I probably would vote for Biden.
You would?
Yes.
Joe Biden also has to manage his party. There are many Democrats who want to present the electorate with a much more radical vision. As a result of the killing of George Floyd, the movement to defund or even abolish the police is gaining traction among Democrats. In places like Erie, that could cost the party votes.
We've seen over the past 4 years a slow movement of Erie County Democrats to the Republican Party. And that, to me, signals that Democrats have to be a bit more conservative, even in their rhetoric, if they want to win places like Erie County.
Back with Amy here. Amy, what do you think the truth is? You've got this video now not really promoting Trump in a good light, saying they don't think that he's going to get back in and why and all that, but who knows, because they lie about everything. But they're showing us this over here. What are they telling us in advance? He's not going to get in.
Yes, I think what it is that the BBC, if I'm not mistaken, are more like left-wing or liberal television.
But what is all that when they're part of the game?
Right, so I think that in the game, the whole left-wing thing, the left-right wing, is a paradigm to divide people in the game. And I think the BBC, because they're more aligned with the left, that they're going to be against Trump. So that's their role in the game, is like to be against Trump and give him a bad narrative, because they're part of the left.
Why are they showing us that program? Because you only know about it because I showed it to you. So why would they show us this program and say they're not siding with Trump here? They see that there's something wrong, and the people aren't as happy as you think they are, and at the same time all this stuff's happening. We've been shut down. And what it was is, when I went to the park in London the other day, I know it's the Queen's Park, but all these flowers were put out. Like, if we're really in a endemic here because of this shutdown, why are plants going up in the park? Like, if we've got serious issues going on, that Now we've got these beautiful red plants and flowers, and the gardens look like they've been kept, and you know, but if we haven't got any money, that's the last thing you do is put money into flowers.
Exactly. I just think it's all part of the game. And, you know, with the whole pandemic, and somebody saw a comment, they said, would you even know that there was, you know, a pandemic going on if you hadn't heard it on the TV or the radio or whatever? And most everybody said no. In fact, everybody said no. Like, it's just something that they put out there as part of this game. And they're probably trying to bring in the New World Order, so they want to make America look bad under Trump. And even if people don't like Trump, he is the one that would take the more powerful road to keep us a nation. Whereas if Biden gets in, he'll sell out to the New World Order without even.
But they're all part of the same thing. My point, I thought we might make another video of it. I suppose we can mention it now, although this is coming at the end of the video. But in the past, we've always only known or woken up when it's gone. You know, it took me quite a few years after, you know, that day in September of 20 years ago. But then now you look at it and you know that it's not right. But this time, what's happening is these things are happening, and a lot of us are awake and know what it is.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything we can do anyway, because we can't even talk about it that much. But just that we are awake while it's happening. Is that change the paradigm, whatever you call it?
I guess I have no idea. That's a very good point.
Was there, you know, if Spanish flu was real and it all happened then, were some of those people really awake? It's just that decades lose them.
Right.
Decades of time.
That's an excellent point.
I don't know.
It's just a really
because anything they're doing, like, it's good that these people are going. We all wanted them to go, but the media are telling us. If the media are telling us, then it's part of their game somehow.
Absolutely, yes. If the media tell us, then we know it's part of the game. They only tell us what they want us to see, and so if they're showing it to you, it's something else is really going on. That's what I have learned. Yes. And it's just really
we can all see that, you know, how can these people rule us if nearly every video of them is not right?
Yes, I know. It's kind of the other night I was thinking about is a little bit of kind of a scary feeling to think that leaders that you kind of trusted in, that they're not even real, or they're showing us images that are showing the actual person, and it makes. I guess we're so used to having a leader to look to that when you feel like that you don't have a solid leader to look to, it does do something to your
We've got no one to write to, and anyway, I tried and I got hate speech for it, so there you go.
Exactly. I think it's just showing us that we can't be putting our hope in leaders anymore, that we gotta put our hope in ourselves and in God.
The one thing, did you notice, because we've been going 5 minutes, so we'll have to stop in a minute, but the doctor, I'm not saying I liked absolutely everything he said, because he put us on a globe and stuff like that, but he was talking about what has to happen is a spiritual awakening, and it's like, well, I've heard that before. They're saying this is a spiritual awakening. Like, is that it? We've just got to have a spiritual awakening? Well, I don't really see that many people waking up. There are people awake, but what I'm saying is there's still too many selfish people. If we're going to be doing this wake up, come on, everybody.
Yes, that's right. I do think, though, that people are waking up from the videos I watch and the comments that I read. I am encouraged that a lot of people are really waking up to what's going on around them.
They've got to wake up a bit more if it's a spiritual change we need here.
Yes, for a spiritual change, and also if we want to do anything to stop the madness, people have to start finding some kind of an action that they could take to stop the madness.
Yeah. Amy, we've got to
yes.
finish in a second. Thank you so much for helping me make this video.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you. You're welcome, darling.
Summer has arrived on Lake Erie. The seasons can change here in an afternoon. The water helps distract from America's problems, at least for a while. What will have risen to the surface come November, when Erie County and America votes,